What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for playpicks.com, thelines.com. Going to talk a little Monday Night Football between the Bears and the Redskins. Guys, while you're here, please go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there below. Like this video. And let us know in the comments who you're playing in this game, if you're playing this game. Certainly not one that we are sprinting to the window to go play this week. I'm going to try to keep this video much shorter because of just the game at hand here. We're looking at the Bears and the Redskins. Again, dkpicks.com for the very best deal over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Playpicks.com/bonus for all of our sportsbook offers here. Playpicks, you can get the full write-up here from Juan, what he thinks about this game and how this thing might go. And, of course, you can always head over to thelines.com, head to the NFL tab up here and click MNF, Monday Night Football. And you can see kind of how this is going to play out over here. You can see how the got a cool little odds feed and everything over here. And you can toggle back and forth between Pennsylvania and New Jersey odds. You can see how things are playing out there. So, anyhow, let's take a look at the odds over in Jersey right now. Over at DraftKings, you can see this thing has moved to 6 points. Bears favored by 6, 41.5 total, 245 if you want them on the money line, 210 on the comeback. If you're looking at William Hill over in New Jersey, you're getting 5.5 there, 260 on the money line, 41.5 there as well. And then over at FanDuel, we are getting 5.5 there, 250, 41.5, 215 money line on the comeback here if you're looking at that. We'll flip back over here to this weather, high 70s, no wind to speak of, and slight chance of shower. So no weather concerns whatsoever in this thing. Bears, of course, lost a stinker in week 1 to the Packers. If you were watching that thing, that was horrible. Coming off a last second come from behind win against Denver as well. Redskins started out really hot against the Eagles in week 1, as you remember, only to falter. Eagles came back and won that game. And then, of course, they were pretty scrappy against the Cowboys, but eventually lost that game by 10 points as well. So, 2-0 team, 1-1 team, and an 0-2 team here going at it on Monday Night Football. And the Bears, as far as injuries go, defensive tackle Bilal Nichols will be out for the Bears. On the Redskins, they're not as lucky. Jordan Reed still going to be out, and I'm not going to tell a person what to do with their career, but man, a lot of concussions there for Jordan Reed. Corner Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie is out. Quentin Dunbar is questionable. He's another corner there for the Redskins. And Trent Williams, not an injury, but he's still holding out, of course. So lots of things going on there with him. Scroll up a little bit. You can see some of these other odds if you want to look at some of these other ones. On the Bears here, just 1 touchdown through 2 games on the offensive side of the ball. Trubisky, 42 of 72 for 348 and an interception. Their only touchdown coming on a 1-yard run by this team. So again, only 1 touchdown through 2 games. On the Redskins side, what if I told you Case Keenum had thrown for 601 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and was completing 69% of his passes? Would you believe me? Hopefully you would, because that's actually the truth. Those are Case Keenum's statistics. He's thrown for 601 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, and is completing nearly 70% of his passes so far this year. The only problem with the Redskins, of course, is on the defensive side of the ball, and also they have no run game whatsoever. 29th DVOA rush offense, averaging 2.5 yards a carry. Of course, they lost Darius Geis they put Darius Geis on IR, so they're having to deal with Adrian Peterson, and it's just not working when you get to be 34 years old. Can't be running back in the NFL anymore. As far as the pace in this one, the Bears ranked 25th in the league with 60.5 plays per game. Skins are 28th with 56.5 plays a game. 29th in situation neutral for the Redskins, and 24th in situation neutral plays per game for the Bears. So you can see, should also be a slow pace game. This is how these teams play, how they want to play. On the defensive side of the ball, of course, I don't have to tell you much about the Bears. One of the very best teams in all of the league, no doubt for sure. Top to bottom, they've held their first 2 opponents to just 29 yards rushing. 129 yards total rushing, 3.1 yards per carry. So you can see just very, 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 very good unit. They already have 7 sacks on the season as well. Redskins on the other side, not so much. 3rd worst in the NFL through 2 weeks. They've given up 63 points through 2 games here. They've allowed 3 touchdowns of 50 or more yards. So you can see this defense has really, really, really struggled here. So just something to take a look at. Of course, if you want to head over here and start to compare some of these lines here and at over at the lines and, a little breakdown of how the game might go. And as we mentioned at Play Picks, Juan is going on with how he thinks this game might go as well. So we'll flip over here between these two. I mean, listen, let's make a case for the over here. And if we wanted to do that, we could go to any of these books. They're all sitting at 41.5. So let's say we wanted to make a case for the over in this one. It would be just the Bears actually find some offense in this. I mean, this is one of the most struggling offensive units in the game. I mean, you're looking at a team that has only scored 19 total points in their first two games here. So if maybe the Bears can actually find some offense here, the Redskins have actually shown life on the offensive side of the ball. Now of course, the Bears are going to be the toughest defense they play all year long, but the Cowboys defense they played scored some points on them. Cowboys defense, certainly a top 5 defense in the league as well. So, I expect they're not going to get shut out in this game. And then, a case for the over of 41.5 would just be that the Bears are going to actually have to find some offense against one of the worst defenses in the league through the first 2 weeks of the season. Now, if we want to look the case for the under here, which I'll admit is where I am kind of leaning in this game, the case for the under is pretty simple. We just get more of the same from the Bears defense and the Bears offense. The Bears defense not allowing people to score whatsoever, holding teams to ridiculously low yardage totals, ridiculously low point totals, everything. I mean, they do everything well. As we mentioned, they get after the passer. They have 7 sacks already. Their rush defense is really, really great. The pass defense is really, really great. So you hold the Redskins a few points, and then your offense does what it's been doing all season, which is not scoring points and stuttering and sputtering because Mitch Trubisky can't get anything going and looks like a deer in the headlights out there. So that's one case for the under. And another one could just be the Redskins defense just plays a little bit closer to what we thought coming into the season. Now, we didn't think this defense was going to be all that great. We didn't think they were certainly going to be like a top 5 unit or anything, but we certainly didn't expect them to be a very bottom feeder. So even if they can just kind of regress a little bit to what we thought coming into the season, that could also really keep this game under because, again, this Bears offense has looked putrid through the first 2 weeks here. Mitch Trubisky has looked god-awful in this thing. Let's talk about some prop bets here. Of course, you guys lucky enough over in Jersey and some of these other parts of the country have these all kinds of tons of different little props that you can bet here. One of the things that I'm kind of looking at, I mean, we're talking about a game between a really, really good defense here and a sputtering offense and, all these different things. I think a first scoring play of a field goal as opposed to first scoring play, sometimes they do that. So be sure and look at that. If that's a prop option open for you, I think that's an interesting play is first scoring play being a field goal, because I mean, listen, this is just one of those games where we could see very, very little scoring. We could see these teams really, really struggle here. I thought one of the other things that was fairly interesting here is coming down here to total passing yards and Trubisky at 232. I expect, you want your prop bets to tell a story and how you think the game's going to play out. I expect the Bears to try to rush the ball. I mean, this is a big weakness on this Washington team as well. And plus, that's the only thing they've been good at so far this year. And so I don't think they're going to try to square peg round hole this thing. I mean, Trubisky's looked horrible. If they're able to move the ball on the ground a ton, then why not move the ball on the ground a ton? So I'm actually kind of leaning towards the under here in 232 for Trubisky as far as passing yards. Maybe you could get that. Let's see if there's anything better at over at FanDuel here if you wanted to do that. Trubisky, no, 232. So they're the same in both places. Would lean towards the under in that one. Let's talk about just the plays here on the game line, especially if you were able to come over here at DraftKings. Look, I expect a low-scoring, kind of boring, kind of crappy game. And so if I'm getting a home team at 6 points, I'll just take the home team at 6 points. I'm not jumping up and down to bet this game. I want full disclosure to you guys. I might bet half a unit on this thing before it's all said and done here. Just not a game that I'm really, really interested in. I don't think the Redskins are as bad as they've shown, and I don't think that the Bears are as bad as they've shown either. But I don't think either one of these teams are exponentially better than what they've shown either. So home team at 6 points, certainly something that I think I would just take here and kind of put it in my pocket and feel fairly decent about, in hope that it's just kind of more of the same from this Bears offense where they're not going to be able to blow anybody out. The under is much more appealing to me, and maybe this thing even ticks up another half point here because, again, it looks so low. It's a standalone island game here. And so, we know that the public loves to bet the over in these types of situations. So for me, might hold out a little bit here. I have a little bit down on the under as it is already, maybe get down a little bit more should this thing get to 42 and a half. If the money comes in on, Joe Public looking and saying, 41 points. I mean, anyone can score 41 points in a game between two teams. So that's kind of how I'm looking to this one as well. I've heard people float a teaser of Redskins and under, getting Redskins to 12 points and then getting this thing up to 47 and a half. If you want to play that way, that's fine with me. And I'm a teaser player. That's just typically not the type of teasers I usually play. But if that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable to have, nearly 2 touchdowns in the bag with the Redskins against this Bears offense that has shown absolutely nothing all year long, and then 47 and a half on the under, again, don't totally hate that if it makes you feel better just about playing this game. If you're going to play it anyway, and that makes you feel better about playing it. Again, not a game I'm really going to play heavily here. I suggest maybe you don't either, unless you just have some sort of strong inkling that I don't. But like the under is kind of like my quote unquote best play here. Certainly nothing I'm going to go crazy on at all. Guys, please head over to playpicks.com. You can see how Juan thinks this game is going to break down, and then you can head over to the lines and hit NFL Monday Night Football right there, and you can get a full breakdown and kind of toggle between the odds and see how things are moving along the day. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let us know how you're playing in the comments below. If you see something that I don't, please point it out, because listen, we're running pretty good on these videos. We've won a lot of bets already so far this year. This one's just not one that I'm looking to risk too much of the bankroll on. Thanks for the time, guys, and we'll be back on Thursday Night Football.